Hey guys, this is Harith, and right now I'm continuing the part from Libra to Scorpio. So we gotta realize that Libra, since it's the sign that start the fall season, and it deals with giving birth, it deals with initiating. It takes a lot of energy from our body, and so we need to learn how to maintain our relationships. We need to learn how to be. We need to learn how to become better at showing fairness and justice, better at communicating, but also learn how to not overindulge when it comes to this Libra energy, this liberalism energy. We need to learn how not to over communicate, over balance, all the way to the point we may tip the scale on ourselves, which is something I guess could happen to a lot of people who are Libras, or if you have a lot of Libra energy within your chart, because you're willing to sacrifice your all for the majority, which is a lot of Libras shouldn't do that, or if you are a lot of under Libra energy, you should like avoid that. But it's a beautiful energy to utilize, to connect, to communicate with people, but also build long-term relationship. This is why people say what do they people say? They say your first impression is gonna be always is the most important thing in business or in every aspect of your life. This is why you gotta make sure that people have a good impression of you. And uh what's a better sign than Libra to know how to come across to people in a peaceful, cooperative, showing fairness and justice way. So but it takes a lot of energy to do that, like I was saying earlier, because Libra is part of the social signs. So when we speak about the social signs, which are connected to organs and body systems that obviously are more social in general, they take more energy for us to tap into as a spirit and an observer within our body. So you gotta consider the fact that if you use a lot of energy in a relationship, like I'm trying to say all this time, you're gonna weaken your kidneys. You're gonna weaken your ability to create balance within yourself, because all this balance and sense of harmony really need to go within yourself. How do you show yourself fairness and justice? How do you show yourself balance through communicating with yourself? A lot of people are amazing with balancing relationships with other people, but they don't know how to balance a relationship with themselves. The first and the most important relationship you should have is always with yourself first. Then that gets externalized as you having good relationship with everybody. But if you have a bad relationship with yourself, that somehow will show up as you having bad relationship with everybody. So that's an important lesson that all of us should learn when it comes to the kind of Libra energy. So Libra is also ruled by Venus, which kind of could cause a lot of issue here too, because a lot of people don't understand. Um, since if Libra is a cardinal sign, they do initiating and giving birth, so which lead to a lot of nervous system exhaustion, and they ruled by Venus, which is a planet that deal with the hormones, the ability to create fluidity within ourself. There's no difference between the term hormones and harmony. The more harmony you create within yourself, the more hormones you create within yourself. Essentially, because it's all about body cohesion or body working together, as opposed to you separating your different body parts. If you know what I'm speaking about, it's all about how you place your awareness throughout your body, and that's what astrology teaches. It teaches how to distribute our awareness to our entire body, through making sure we're aware of what the 12 body parts: Aries, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and so on and so forth. So since Libra could experience a lot of nervous system exhaustion, and since they're ruled by Venus, which could lead to some form of hormonal dysfunction, because if they over externalize all this communication, all this harmony, all this love and appreciation, they're not gonna have none for themselves, and that will weaken their ability to get rid of waste, which is very important for their blood, since Leo, which represents your blood, that is ruled by the sun too, is sextile the sextile Libra, the seventh house. And Leo, the solar plexus, the fifth house, requires the seventh house to help it detoxify itself, so you'll be able to utilize it again. But if the kidneys are not working well, then you're not going to be able to connect, you're not going to be able to basically utilize your heart or your blood to the fullest extent, because your heart is full of toxins, your blood is full of pathogens and things along this line. This is why it's important to pay to our kidneys, our excretory system. This is why, and if you do any studies, you would know that heart issues and blood pressure issues are connected to your kidneys, and your kidneys issues is connected also to your heart and your blood. So those two organs, they work together. So that's important all to keep in mind. And Libra, Saturn is exalted in Libra too, so that tells us that we should aim for long-term longevity when it comes to utilizing that energy to be on the positive side of it. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure you guys get into relationships that and other relationships that allow you to build your life, and other relationship that could have destroyed or brought your life to a place that it did not need to be. So that's the positive side and the negative side. So we gotta learn how to use it properly so we don't be victims. So learn how to get balance, harmony, maintain your relationship, show fairness and justice, and that would actually allow you to maintain a healthy kidneys, healthy excretory system, because you are allowing yourself to keep the energy within yourself, to utilize it for your own self, as opposed to externalizing it, pushing it, and things along this line. Next, we have Scorpio. So Scorpio deal with the power or the discipline of being fixated and stubborn when it comes to our feelings and emotion based upon our passions and our desires. So this is the area of life that deal with our vulnerabilities. It deal with everything that we keep behind the scene, our deep fixated emotions, our desires, and this is the energy. It what creates your reproductive system, your dick, your vagina, and things along this line. So a lot of people wouldn't understand how Scorpio energy work, 'cause it's much more bigger than just your reproductive system and your desires and things along this line, or your fixated emotions. uh for example, Scorpio does not only represent your reproductive system, it represents the power of detoxifying yourself. Because Mars rules here, and Mars is the fire planet. It deals with hotness and dryness. But Scorpio is a water planet. So Mars is trying to burn or ignite through all the water, through all the emotions and feeling. Because Scorpio is a fixed water, and that's a lot of time how it could play out negatively, where you allow your fixated emotions and feeling play form some form of ice water that you can't get out, so we can see in the surface of the water. You're a fish or a water creature that likes to stay so low and dark in the water. So that's something you gotta be careful of here, because that could play out biologically and mentally too, as you holding on to certain things, which could play out in your real life as you holding on to toxins, pathogen, bad habits, and things along this line. So we gotta be careful, and we should be aware of how much transformation we need, how much detoxification we need, how much letting go we need through being passionate and aggressive about the right feeling, emotion, or the place we want to be emotionally, since we don't want to be vulnerable, since we don't want to be weak. And that's important for Scorpio energy, because a lot of people don't understand how Taurus represents your hormonal system, but Taurus, it's opposite to Scorpio. So Scorpio says it rules the reproductive system. It deals with things like our testicles, which produce obviously testosterone, and obviously we got females too, and their eggs produce estrogen and things along this line, and all these are hormones that kick in during puberty. And what is puberty? Puberty, when you basically enter a cycle where you basically start to grow abnormally, or aka boost all your status, if you will, just to put it in a very simple term. But that all that happens because Scorpio is actually also connected to our hormonal system, like I was saying earlier. So a lot of people who have issues when it comes to their reproductive system, sometimes it play out as testosterone or estrogen dysfunction too. So this is why we gotta be careful of how much feelings and emotion we hold on to, and learn how to detoxify some of these feelings and emotion, so we could rise out of this water and feelings and emotion, so we could rise out of our kundalini and rise like a phoenix and no longer get stuck in our emotion and feelings.